Have you ever looked at something you haven't used in over a year and wondered, why am I still keeping this? Maybe it's an old coat that hasn't been touched in ages, or a juicer you once bought, with high hopes only to use it once and forget about it. For older adults, accumulating items can become a deeply rooted habit. It's often seen as a way to keep things just in case, or a means of preserving things that might be useful someday. But over time, unused objects silently begin to take over your living space, making life feel more cluttered and harder to manage. Now, imagine waking up each morning to a tidy kitchen where everything is easy to find, or knowing exactly where your medication is without digging through crowded drawers. That feeling of relief and calm, that's what clearing out unused items can give you. In this video, we'll explore 6 common types of clutter that may be quietly weighing you down whether you realize it or not. From bulky furniture taking up precious space to drawers filled with expired medication or sentimental items you've kept simply because you couldn't throw them away. These things are subtly making your life more burdensome than it needs to be. Decluttering is not about loss, it's a journey of liberation. When you let go of what no longer serves you, your space becomes lighter and so does your mind. You'll feel more free, more in control, and rediscover the joy of living without being held back by unnecessary things. If you find these insights helpful, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. We'll continue to share valuable guidance to help you stay healthy, joyful, and fully enjoy life at every age. Let's begin your journey of clearing both space and spirit, starting today. Number 1. Outdated furniture you no longer use. Have you ever wondered why your home feels more cramped, even though no one new has moved in? The answer often isn't about space, it's about furniture that's no longer useful, but still taking up room. After the age of 60, holding on to old furniture often stems from emotional attachment or the mindset of, I might need it someday. A chair from your newlywed days, a dining table that once hosted family feasts, or an old cabinet you once adored. But times change, and so do your needs. What was helpful yesterday might be quietly getting in the way today. Environmental psychology shows that cluttered, crowded spaces increase cortisol, the stress hormone, especially in older adults. Feelings of fatigue, unease, or even a quiet reluctance to clean up can often be traced back to a living room filled with extra chairs, a hallway narrowed by unused tables, or a bedroom where a bulky wardrobe blocks your freedom to move. Remember, your living space is not just for storing things, it's for breathing, resting, and recharging. And if your furniture no longer supports that purpose, no matter how beautiful, it's time to reconsider. Walter, age 75, is a clear example. After his wife passed, he continued living in their old home over 40 years, full of memories and belongings. His living room had 6 chairs, yet he only ever sat in one. A heavy oak coffee table took up half the walkway, and in his bedroom stood a giant wardrobe with broken hinges. When his son came to stay for a few days, it only took a few stubbed toes before he said, "Dad, this house doesn't fit how you live anymore." That comment stayed with Walter. But instead of feeling criticized, he saw his home with new eyes, not with regret, but with a clear question. Does this item still serve my life today? With every piece he let go, he felt lighter, both literally and emotionally. He replaced the big table with a smaller one on wheels, kept the 2 best chairs, and donated the rest to a local community center. He removed the old wardrobe and installed open shelves that were easier to access and clean. The result was unexpected. He felt less tired while tidying, slept better at night, and experienced a sense of mental clarity he hadn't felt in years. This isn't just about throwing things away. It's about optimizing your home for how you live right now. As we age, simplicity becomes its own form of freedom. No tripping, no heavy sighs every time you squeeze past something, no frustration in your own home. If you're living in a space filled with furniture you haven't used in over a year, ask yourself, is this helping or hindering my life today? If it's just collecting dust or standing there without a purpose, then maybe it's time to say goodbye. A clean, open home doesn't just help you move around and breathe easier. It gives you a new sense of control, peace, and comfort in the place where you spend most of your time, and you deserve to feel that every single day. Number 2, clothes you no longer wear. There's a quiet yet haunting truth. Many of us are living with a fabricated past without even realizing it. A formal dress from a party 2 decades ago, a work shirt from before retirement, or a pair of stunning high heels that are beautiful to look at, but impossible to wear for more than 10 minutes. These items sit silently in the closet, as if waiting for a moment to shine, again, a moment that never comes. And over time, the wardrobe transforms into a storage room of nostalgia, cramped, suffocating, and even stressful every morning when you face dozens of options, yet none that truly fit your life today. This isn't just a matter of aesthetics. Environmental psychology shows that cluttered living spaces, including overstuffed closets, can reduce focus, increase anxiety, and create a sense of being overwhelmed. For older adults, this effect is even more pronounced. As the brain becomes more sensitive to environmental stressors with age, even visual chaos can drain your mental energy. In other words, a messy closet doesn't just tire your eyes, it wears on your spirit. Evelyn, age 73, once had a wardrobe so full, the doors couldn't close properly. When asked about it, she smiled and said, "Each piece reminds me of something." But when her granddaughter tried helping her find a sweater to wear for a walk in the park, it took nearly 30 minutes, only to conclude that nothing fit well or felt right. That's when Evelyn realized memories belong in the heart, not necessarily in every old piece of clothing. She began decluttering, not in a rush and not with extremes. Just a quiet conversation with each garment. Do I still need you? Do you still make me feel comfortable and happy when I wear you? The result? She felt as if a hidden backpack of burden had finally been lifted from her shoulders. Choosing what to wear in the morning became quick and easy. Every item left in her closet now fit her body, her lifestyle, and most importantly reflected who she is today, not the version of herself from decades past. An ideal wardrobe for someone in their 60s or 70s doesn't need to be large, it needs to be thoughtfully chosen. Clothes that are comfortable, easy to mix and match, easy to wear and care for, not to impress others but to gently serve you every single day. At this stage in life, fashion is no longer a race, it becomes a return to true simplicity. And if you ever hesitate while holding an old piece of clothing, remember this: when you let go, someone else can receive. Clothes you no longer wear might become a timely joy or help for someone in need. Give them a new life instead of letting them gather dust in silence. You don't have to throw away the past, you only need to make space for the present and the future. That's not a loss, it's a subtle, beautiful way of taking care of yourself. If you're still watching this video, leave a number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with us. And don't forget to hit subscribe and the notification bell so you won't miss more tips to help you live lighter, healthier, and happier after 60 number 3. Expired medications and old personal care products. Take a moment to open your medicine cabinet or bathroom drawer. Can you say for sure that everything in there is still effective and safe to use, many of us especially as we age? Unintentionally turn these storage spaces into invisible warehouses filled with expired items, products we no longer use and things that might actually harm us if we continue to keep them. It's easy to understand how this happens. A half-used bottle of painkillers, a prescription from 2 years ago, a jar of face cream someone gifted you, that never quite agreed with your skin. They just sit there unnoticed and untouched. The habit of keeping it just in case makes us hold on, and before we realize it, our spaces are packed with things that no longer truly serve our lives. But this isn't just about clutter, it's a matter of health and safety. Medical research shows that once a medication expires, the active ingredients can degrade, lose effectiveness, or even transform into unwanted compounds, some types especially. Antibiotics, heart medications, or drugs for chronic conditions can become harmful if taken at the wrong time or for the wrong reason. You might think holding on to old medication is being cautious, but in reality, every time you reuse expired medicine without consulting a doctor, you're putting yourself at unnecessary risk. The same goes for personal care products. Everything has a shelf life: lotions, sunscreens, mouthwash, and cosmetics included. Using an expired cream doesn't just reduce its effectiveness, it can cause rashes, irritation, or even infections. Yet, because we don't want to waste or because we think I only used it a couple of times, we keep them, forgetting that our bodies deserve fresh, safe products. Take Helen, age 76, as an example. During a bout of itchy skin, she reached for an old tube of cream she had forgotten about. The result? Redness, burning, and several days of discomfort, eventually leading to a doctor's visit. When asked, she realized the cream had expired 4 years earlier. That was when she finally took a good look at her personal care cabinet and was shocked to discover a museum of forgotten products silently taking up space in her home. After clearing it all out, Helen said the change wasn't just in her bathroom, but in how she felt. More at ease, more in control, more confident in her daily routine. Everything that remained was clearly labeled, truly necessary, and aligned with her current health needs. No more scrambling to find a bandage. No more confusion over which cream to use, just what she actually needed, and nothing more. If it's been a while since you last checked your medicine cabinet, consider this your gentle reminder. Do it today. Carefully review expiration dates, throw away outdated medications, and dispose of unused prescriptions properly. As for personal care items, if you haven't used something in over a year, it's time to let it go. At this stage of life, simplicity isn't about throwing everything away. It's about keeping only what truly supports your health, comfort, and peace of mind. Number 4, old papers, documents, and unused correspondence. Have you ever opened a desk drawer and felt like you were standing in front of a miniature paper museum? Stacks of bills paid years ago, unopened letters expired, warranties, user manuals for appliances you've already given away, they all quietly accumulate over time. And then one day you realize they've taken over and you no longer have control. After age 60, life should become simpler, lighter. Yet these nameless piles of paper can quietly pull you into a sense of clutter, overwhelm, and disorganization. And the truth is, it's not that these papers are so important. They've just never been reviewed, and you've never had the time to decide what to keep and what to let go. But don't underestimate the weight of old documents. Studies in organizational psychology show that the more unnecessary material we keep in our environment, the more likely our brains are to enter a state of underlying stress. That's why you may feel irritated when you can't find a needed paper or experience a nagging sense of something unfinished, without even knowing what it is. William, age 78, is a perfect example. Always careful, he had kept every bill letter and document for decades just in case. But when he needed to find his auto insurance policy, something that should have taken minutes turned into a half-day ordeal. As he rifled through drawers and cabinets, it hit him. He was living among thousands of sheets of paper, most of which no longer had any real value. That very day, William made a decision. He divided his papers into 3 categories: what to keep, what to digitize, and what to throw away. When he finished, he not only had more physical space, but a surprising sense of clarity and relief. "I never realized how much meaningless stuff I'd been holding on to," he said. "Now I know exactly what I have and where it is. It's like a fresh breeze flowing through a room that's been closed off for years." So, if you're still reading this, take this as a heartfelt reminder. It's time to review what you've been holding on to. Not every piece of paper deserves a place in your life. Start small, even 15 minutes a day, going through folders, envelopes, and old notebooks. Here's what's truly worth keeping: legal documents like birth certificates, wills and valid contracts, important medical records, and recent financial statements. The rest. Old receipts expired, warranties, junk mail, or manuals for long-gone gadgets should be confidently discarded. Ideally, shred them to protect your personal information, and if possible, recycle. You can also take advantage of technology. A simple document scanner or phone app can help you convert important records into digital files, safe, searchable, and space-saving. This doesn't just free up your shelves. It gives you control over your information in a clearer, more efficient way. And finally, don't let unopened mail pile up as a symbol of, "I'll deal with it later." Open it, sort it, toss what's irrelevant, keep what's useful, and let your workspace and your mind breathe. Did this message resonate with you? If so, leave the number 4 in the comments to let me know you're still with us. Number 5. Kitchen items you never use the kitchen. Once filled with warm aromas and laughter, can, over the years, quietly turn into a space you dread walking into. Not because you dislike cooking, but because every drawer, every cabinet feels suffocating. Piled up utensils, idle appliances, and items you no longer remember why you bought. Psychologists call this phenomenon material attachment based on memory. We don't keep these things because they're still useful. We keep them because they once represented something, an unfinished plan, a role we used to play, or a version of ourselves from years past. Helen, age 72, Used to be the heart of the kitchen at every family gathering, with 5 children and a dozen grandchildren. Her kitchen was once the center of Christmas dinners, birthday parties, and Thanksgiving celebrations. But now the kids have grown up and moved away, and family reunions are rare. Still, she kept everything: the pots that could serve 12 people, the industrial-sized toaster, the deep fryer used for making chicken for the whole family. Not because she needed them, but because letting them go felt like letting go of a past she wasn't ready to release. Then one day, while bending down to pick up a pot lid that had fallen from a high shelf, she felt dizzy and nearly fell. Sitting down afterward, she asked herself, "Why am I risking injury for a pot I haven't used in 5 years?" That moment sparked change. Helen began decluttering, not in haste or reluctance, but steadily, one corner a day over a week. Each time she picked up an item, she asked, "Does this still have a place in my current life?" If the answer was no, she thanked the item for the memories and placed it in a donation or recycling box. When she was finished, her kitchen felt spacious and functional again. And surprisingly, she didn't feel sad. She felt relieved. Cooking became joyful once more. Every item had its place. No more rummaging, no more risky bending. From an organizational perspective, the principle of declutter to optimize tells us that an efficient kitchen isn't about how many tools you have. It's about how usable and accessible they are. You don't need 3 cutting boards, 5 pots, or a line of machines. You need the ones you use regularly, easily reachable, and gentle on your body to handle. So, if you've lived with your kitchen for decades, perhaps it's time to ask, am I cooking in the present, or surrounded by memories that have long gone quiet? Letting go of things isn't about rejecting the past. It's about creating room for a present that's clear, safe, and manageable. If this message resonates with you, leave the number 5 in the comments below number 6. Sentimental objects that no longer serve you. We've all had a box of keepsakes at some point. Small gifts from loved ones, old letters marking special days, or a favorite dress from a memorable trip. These are more than just things. They're emotional treasures, priceless fragments of our personal stories. But as we age, especially approaching or beyond 70, these keepsakes may no longer serve our current lives. Why is it so hard to let go of sentimental objects? Because they hold emotional power. They're tangible symbols of the past, invisible threads connecting us to those who are gone and to the moments that shaped us. Psychologists say we cling to these items as a way of preserving our sense of stability and identity. They're remnants of past relationships, milestones, and joys. But with time, when these objects stop serving a meaningful purpose, do they still bring joy, or do they weigh us down? Selena, 75, was once a lively woman who loved collecting gifts from friends and family. Her late husband's antique watches, birthday cards from her children, holiday photos, she treasured them all. But when she decided to move into a smaller home to be closer to her children, she realized that her house was overflowing with decades of possessions. Every day she looked around and saw things that no longer had a role in her life. The keepsakes didn't bring happiness anymore. They brought a sense of being overwhelmed. How could she let go without feeling regret? One day, while opening a box of old mementos, she asked herself, "Does this item truly matter to my life right now?" She made a decision not to erase the past, but to carefully choose what to carry forward. She kept family photos, a few special letters, and meaningful trinkets that still warmed her heart. The rest she gifted to friends, passed down to her children, or simply let go. Almost instantly, she felt a surprising lightness. Her new home no longer felt cluttered, and more importantly, she no longer felt held back by memories she didn't need to relive every day. The memories lived on in her heart. They didn't need to live on every shelf. It's no coincidence that psychologists say decluttering is as much about emotional well-being as it is about organization. A home overflowing with unused items can lead to stress, anxiety, and a loss of focus. Studies show that keeping objects that no longer serve a purpose not only wastes space, but disrupts mental clarity and peace. Clearing your home can free your spirit. When we keep only what truly brings value to our hearts, we create a space of freedom where every item has meaning and nothing is excessive. This is how we live a life that is simple, yet deeply rich and fulfilling. Letting go is not always easy, especially when it comes to the things that have been with us for years, even decades. These aren't just things. They're pieces of our story, reflections of who we once were or who we hope to be. But as time moves forward, so should we. Clearing out the furniture we no longer use, the clothes we no longer wear, the medications that have quietly expired, the papers. We never look at the kitchen tools that haven't seen the light of day in years, and even the sentimental objects that no longer bring us peace. It's not an act of losing, it's an act of reclaiming space, reclaiming clarity, reclaiming a life that is lighter, more intentional, and more in tune with who we are today, not who we were yesterday. When we declutter, we don't erase our past. We honor it by keeping the parts that still nourish us and gently releasing the rest. We open up room for new joys, safer routines, and deeper ease in everyday life. So, if your home has slowly become filled with things that no longer serve you, take this as a gentle invitation. Begin today, one drawer, one cabinet, one memory at a time. And as you do remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about making room for peace, safety, and the freedom to move, breathe, and live fully in your own space. If this video spoke to you, please let us know in the comments, share your experience, or simply leave the number 6 so we know you're still with us. And if you haven't yet subscribed and hit the bell icon, we're here to walk with you through every chapter of aging with strength, clarity, and dignity. You deserve to live in a home and a life that reflects who you are now. And that begins not with more, but with less.